This is Saturday, November 10th. There are 249 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Welcome to SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog. Good morning. I am your host, James Riley, and joining me on the podcast this morning, Carrie Dixon.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for joining us.
And also, Andy Wagner.
Hey, good morning.
All right. So, what are we doing today? Well, this is the SDConCast, and we will be covering open registration as it happens. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the YouTube live chat, or you can tweet us at SD_comic_con, or use the hashtag SDConCast. We will be keeping an eye on all of those throughout the show. And Carrie, let's go.
All right. So I would assume that most of you guys at least know what open registration is at this point, but I did just have someone on Twitter ask me if this is the last real chance to buy badges, and the answer to that question is yes. So we already had returning registration, which is for those who attended in 2018 as a paid general attendee, and now we have open registration, which is for anyone who validated their member ID by a certain date and who didn't already purchase all available dates in returning registration. So now today we've got open registration, and it is indeed the last real chance to try to get general attendee badges for Comic-Con. They do a couple of contests, but those are few and far between and fairly hard to win. So good luck to everyone today. We're not going to lie. This day is, it's rough because way more people try for badges than there are badges available, which unfortunately means, especially in comparison to returning registration, a lot of times there's a lot more unhappy people today. But it's early, so let's keep the faith, right?
Yes. Because
Absolutely.
they do have tickets for sale on it.
Yeah.
Badges. Oh, we call them badges, though.
Badges, yes.
Yes, there are badges in the inventory right now.
So what's going to happen is here in about 27 minutes at 9 a.m. Pacific time, the waiting room will basically they'll start sorting everyone who's in the waiting room, and then they'll slowly start letting people through to purchase badges. When it's your turn to purchase, you'll be greeted with a screen, and it will ask you two questions. First of all, it'll ask you the total number of badges you want to buy, and you can choose, or the total number of people you want to buy badges for, and you can choose between 1 to 3. And then it'll ask you for a member ID of someone who you want to purchase a badge for. That does not have to be yourself. So if you want to buy a badge for somebody else but not yourself, just enter their member ID instead of your own. And then from that point, you will be taken into purchase badges, and it will show you the available inventory. Preview night is going to go first. In fact, I pulled up last year's times just to kind of compare. So last year, preview night sold out 23 minutes after 9 a.m. And then we got Saturday badges went at 37 minutes in. Friday badges went at 42 minutes in. Thursday badges went at 59 minutes in. And the whole thing sold out at just 64 minutes after 9 a.m. So we could be looking at a fairly short sale again. But the good news is that won't prolong your suffering, I guess. So good luck again to everyone. So what questions do you guys have? The waiting room so far seems to be going pretty well. We haven't seen really any glitches so far today. What questions do you guys have about the process?
Yeah, as long as you see the spinning blue Cheerio, then you're good.
And honestly, because we get this question every time, and in fact, I did have one or two people ask me today, if the wheel stops spinning, it's not the end of the world. There's a wheel stops spinning every year for a couple people, and they still make it through. At this point, if your wheel stops spinning, it's early enough that you can, even though it says not to, you can refresh to try to see if that works. You can close out of the window and then re-enter your code. You can try a different browser. You're early enough that it's really not going to matter. Really, so long as you were in that waiting room by 9 a.m., it's not that big of a deal. And if for any reason you do get kicked out after 9 a.m., as long as you entered at some point prior prior to 9 a.m., you can re-enter using your same code and not lose your place in line.
Also, if you don't get in right at 9 o'clock or 9:01, don't panic. Like Carrie said, they are sorting through people. So if you don't get through right away, just be patient, which we know is incredibly difficult at this time. But just be patient and hopefully you'll get through.
Okay, so someone, Christian Bellino asked in the chat, remind me how bad the odds are again. So this is really just a rough estimate, okay? But we estimate that back in, what year was this even that they said this?
I think it was 2013.
Okay, it was like 2013 or 2014. They said that for open registration, they have about 900,000 people who try. And grand total in pretty much all of Comic-Con is 135,000 or so badges. Some of those badges are going to go to other badge types, so like press, professionals, volunteers, all kinds of other folks. And so we estimate that there's probably roughly about 55,000 badges for each sale. So you have 900,000 people trying for 55,000 badges, which we estimate to be about a 6% chance of getting through, which is also why we always say you should work with a group. You should bug your mom, your sister, your dog walker to make a member ID so that you have more people trying next year if you don't get through. That would be my best advice. Let's see here. Mikkel SoCal asked, can you cancel a day and still keep preview if you have all days? No. Preview night is only available if you have all 4 days plus. If you have all 4 days, then you can add on preview night. So if you buy 4 days plus preview night and you need to cancel one of the days, they'll also cancel preview night for you. Okay. Let's see here.
We had Sarah's first timer ask, my blue wheel stop spinning when I move the page up and down. It starts again. Should I be worried or just keep moving the page?
I think you're fine. I really think you're fine. Like, people put a lot of stock into that little blue wheel. And like I said, for some people, like, it won't work at all and they still get through to buy badges. If you're concerned though, like I said, you're early enough, you can try a different browser. You can close the window and then re-enter it. You can refresh even though it says not to. You can do whatever. Okay, and then Denzel Esslinger asked, and if you only get 1 day, still get it because then you qualify for returning registration for next year, which is a much smaller pool. That is entirely accurate.
Yep.
So even as you're purchasing today, if all that's available is Thursday and Sunday, Thursday and Sunday, even if you're like, I really wanted Friday and Saturday, first of all, there's so much going on at this convention. So much. So you can go do the outside offsite stuff on Friday and Saturday and still go see panels and the show floor and all kinds of stuff on Thursday and Sunday. There is no bad day at Comic-Con. And then just like Denzel said, you're also then eligible for returning registration the next year, which makes getting badges again a much easier task.
And a reminder that, because I like to be the downer around here, I guess. If you do buy a ticket for the sole purpose of making sure you're in returning reg next year, remember that Comic-Con has stated on their website that that is the current policy, but that policy can change at any time.
Yes. Yes. All right. So Dan,
And without warning.
And without warning, yes. And basically what that means is if you buy a badge and for any reason you can't go, whether you're literally just buying a badge because you want to be eligible for returning registration next year, or because, and this is really what it's intended for, if you buy a badge and you intend to go, but then you have like a family emergency and you can't, Comic-Con International wants to be understanding in that kind of scenario. But if they feel that people are abusing it, then I'm sure that they will change that, and they'll make sure that you have to have at least like scanned your badge once at Comic-Con in order to be eligible for returning registration or something like that. So don't abuse the system. Dan Meister said, so if I want to buy a badge for someone else and not me, I need to say I only want to buy one badge and put their member ID instead of mine, right? Yes, that's exactly it. You got it. Okay. Sheldon Cooper asked, will using multiple browsers increase chances? No. So if you have one code, you can only enter it a grand total of 1 time. It doesn't matter what browser, so long as like it passes their browser test, but you can only enter a grand total of 1 time. If you have 2 codes, Each code has to be in their own individual browser. So like you can have one on Firefox and one on Chrome. You cannot have both in like just different tabs on the same browser. But again, that's only if you have 2 or multiple codes. I had somebody asked earlier, they had 4 codes, but only 3 browsers. So they were putting 2 in on the same browser and they kept getting kicked out. And I asked why. That's why. If that's the case, then if all you have is your phone, they don't recommend it, but people get through every year. And so if that's worst case scenario, you can absolutely use your phone.
Kel Halou asked earlier, no chance we can buy a ticket for someone who doesn't have a confirmed member ID?
Correct.
You need a member ID before whatever day it was, a week or 2 ago, whatever.
October 31st.
There you go. In order to get a badge.
And they didn't give out advance warning for that either. If you didn't have a member ID before October 31st, there was the only reason we knew was there was a message on their page that said, excuse me, it's cut off. This is the cutoff.
Yes. Someone in the chat just asked me about the Taco Bell video that I've been promising for like 4 months. I will take that video when this ends. Okay. I will take it when it ends. Yep. That's funny.
Barry's been a little busy the last week or 2.
I really have, like, ridiculously so.
It's like it's prep for Comic-Con or something.
I know, right? All right, you guys talk. I got to do something real quick.
All right. Are there any other questions we can answer? I don't see any. Let me check.
Yeah, I don't see anything in the chat. Anything on Twitter?
Oh, okay. I'm not going to check it right this second, but we can. Let's see. So Dacktract asked, in the registration session, will my member ID be immediately verified for buying badges, or do I need to verify my own along with someone that I'm purchasing badges with? So as we mentioned, that when you get in, the first thing you're going to do is enter the member ID of the first person you're buying the badges for, and that can be either you or someone else.
Yep.
That one will be verified when you get to the purchasing screen, and then you just have to enter in however many more you did, up to 3, for each member ID you're buying for, and then it'll just verify that, and then you'll be able to purchase any badges that are available. So the first one you enter is always going to be verified by getting into the session.
Yes. Clever Kev asked in the chat, so just to be clear, if I didn't get member IDs for my 2 kids and I get in, I can't buy 2 extra tickets for my kids. It depends on how old your kids are, actually. Is it 12 or 13? I think it's 12.
12.
Yeah. So if your kids are 12
12
or under, then you don't actually have to register them pre-register them at all. There will be free on-site registration for them at the San Diego Convention Center. So all you have to do is basically show up with your kids, and there you go. All right. Denzel asks, so are there any chances they will let each person pay for their own badge this year, or does the person who get in still have to pay for all of them? The person who gets in will have to pay for all of the badges. Payments cannot be split, so make sure that you have enough funds in your bank account to cover whatever 3 badges you want to buy. And then you guys will just have to sort out payment on your own between the 3 of you. Make sure you only work with people you trust for a couple of reasons, actually. 1, you want to make sure that you're not out money. You want to make sure you get paid. And 2, if anyone within like whatever group had their badges bought, if any one of those people tries to sell their badge online, all 3 of you will actually have your badges revoked for this year, regardless of whether or not you knew the person or not. Yeah. So again, just work with people you trust.
And you could also have your member ID suspended too. So that would affect future badge sales.
Yeah, but honestly, I get 1 or 2 emails every year from people who are like, someone who I bought a badge for but didn't know, like, tried to sell their badge and got banned, and now I'm banned this year. Like, yeah, that sucks. Yep. But you gotta work with people you know and trust. All right, let's see here. What questions do you guys have? Marcello asked, can I buy a badge for me using my friend's registration code? Yes, you can. So I'm going to use the example I use every single time, which is if you're a family of 4 and you each have your own member ID, Comic-Con International is not going to make you remember that like mom is on Firefox and dad is on Chrome and little Timmy is on Safari. Okay. So once you enter that code, it no longer matters like whose member ID you enter. Like you can use your member ID or you can use your code and put in somebody else's member ID and so forth. So it does not have to match. And you do not have to buy a badge for yourself at all today. Even if you use your own code, you can buy a badge for someone else and not yourself, as long as they are eligible. Pac-Man asked, do you know if SDCC will be doing early bird hotel sales this year, or are they going to skip and just do the hotel apocalypse? I think they did early bird last year, didn't they?
Yes.
Am I crazy? Yep. Yes, yeah. They did.
They did early bird last year. I mean, anything's possible, and they have changed an awful lot lately. It seems like, so I don't want to say for sure that like early bird is going to be there, but there's no indication right now that it won't happen. And if you're wondering what early bird is, so there's 2 hotel sales that will likely take place in 2019. The first one is the early bird sale, and that is for non-downtown hotels. You do get a lower rate a lot of times than you would get going on your own. Comic-Con International works with the hotels to help secure lower convention rates for you guys, but they are non-refundable. They're non-downtown if it's early bird. And then later on, they have the general hotel sale, which the last couple of years has been a lottery. And you basically say, these are my hotel preferences, and they assign you a hotel that you can either choose to use or not use. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have to say about the general hotel sale right now. Last year, the general hotel sale happened like a week or 2 after WonderCon, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw similar timing again for the general hotel sale in 2019, but who knows?
Indeed. Patrick Angelis is asking, when should one start hunting hotels after tickets are secured? Hopefully Carrie answered a little bit of that question earlier, but basically it depends on where you prefer to stay. If downtown isn't that big a deal for you, you can check the early bird and see what they have there. Those are typically in Mission Valley, Hotel Circle, things like that. If you're really a diehard downtown, I got to get that downtown hotel, then you will have to wait for Hotel Apocalypse, the general hotel sale, and put in your preferences and hope for the best. If you don't get what you want, there is always trading, and people cancel. Always keep an eye out on the general hotel sale list that Comic-Con puts out. Refresh it every so often, because there are cancellations that happen. Every now and then a downtown will pop up sometime in June because somebody last minute had to cancel. So definitely keep an eye on those things if you didn't get what you wanted. But as far as hotel goes, there's a lot of information, a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, and I did just want to add 2 other quick things. If you don't care about staying downtown, honestly, sometimes paying rack rate through the hotel directly or through, hotels.com or whatever site you prefer. For the non-downtown hotels, a lot of times you can get like comparable rates. So if you want to book a hotel like today, if it's not downtown, you can do that and probably get a decent deal. But again, you're more than welcome to wait for early bird. If you want downtown, you can find downtown hotels, but a lot of times it'll be like $1,000 a night if you go outside of Comic-Con International system. So you probably don't want to do that. I mean, I don't want to pay $1,000 a night. If you do, like, more power to you.
If it's worth it to you, it's worth it to you.
Right. That's right. And as Iron Souls just said, staying off the trolley line makes, I think he means staying on the trolley line, makes getting downtown very easy.
Very true.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, definitely. I live in El Cajon. I'm really close to a trolley. I hop on at Santee, and I can take it straight down to the convention center. And it's the beginning of the line here in Santee, so I just take it all the way down. I love watching all the cosplayers and everybody hopping on from their hotels, getting down there. To me, that's been part of the fun over the years.
Yeah. So we are about 10 minutes away from the waiting room starting to sort people. And you all should have cool little yellow status bars. So let's talk real quick about those. The status bars, or the room, refreshes every 90 to 120 seconds, and they don't refresh at like the same speed across everyone. So if you have a different yellow status bar than someone else, don't panic. Yours will refresh within 90 to 120 seconds. But that little yellow status bar is going to tell you a lot of what you need to know about badge inventory and what's going on. So when they start sorting people, that little yellow status bar will probably tell us. When they start running low on some of the inventory on some of the days, that little yellow status bar will tell us, things of that nature. Comic-Con International, their Twitter, they usually tweet out sometimes faster than the yellow status bar when things sell out. So it's a good idea to have that open in a tab. We'll also mention when days sell out on this lovely podcast. Let's see here. Night by day, it said guesses on how quickly badges sell this time. Will it sell faster, just like pre-reg? I think we'll see pretty similar timing to last year, which I think once we get started here again in about 8 minutes, it'll be probably about an hour. Yeah, I think that's probably might be a couple minutes faster, slower.
Poor Australia. It's 3:52 a.m.
That's rough. That's very rough.
Good luck, Carly.
But what day is it?
The future.
Hello, future. How is everything there?
We had a string of questions that we really can't answer them all. But Andrea Johnston asks, is it safe to switch tabs? And I'm assuming it means go to something else and do something while the spinning blue circle goes and does its thing. Yes, you can click away from the spinning blue circle. It is safe to click away and just click back. What we do is you basically just take it out into its own window and put it on the corner of your screen and watch it on the corner while you do something else on the rest of your browser.
Yep.
What's some other ones we got here? Just some random stuff. Alonzo asked, what days do TV shows like Gotham and Flash go? Friday or Saturday? That is Saturday. That's typically when the WB DC block goes, is on Saturday in Ballroom 20.
Yeah. And if you have a question about like what day something went, you can always go back and look at like previous Comic-Con schedules. A lot of times TV shows keep to the same days, but sometimes they don't. So it's never a guarantee. So I know a lot of people go like specifically for one show or one thing. Just remember, there's so much more Comic-Con like than just the one, whatever it is that you're attending for. So like, go with an open mind. You might discover your new favorite show, your new favorite book, your new favorite whatever. So,
yeah, I know that's happened to me every year. I always discover one show that, I'm going to watch that this season.
Yeah. So Pac-Man asked, if there's no early bird hotel sale this year, will it be easy to secure a hotel in the Hotel Circle / Mission Valley area rather than downtown ones? I mean, even now, it's easier to secure a hotel in Mission Valley than Hotel Apocalypse, even with early bird. So I wouldn't, if that's where you want to stay, like I wouldn't sweat it too much. Like those hotels are pretty much always open after the dust settles.
Definitely. Mission Valley, Hotel Circle, a lot easier to get than downtown.
So, XOCutie asked, you think it's possible to find random people to share a hotel room with me to cheapen the cost, or will I get murdered? Typically, Comic-Con attendees are not murderers. Typically.
And let me just say, because truthfully, I don't think there's been a single year actually where I haven't roomed with someone who I either like didn't know before Comic-Con or like I find roommates all the time on like the forums and Twitter and all kinds of things for Comic-Con. Like James said, Comic-Con attendees in general are very cool people. So don't be afraid of doing that. Like, just don't freak out.
Also, for most Comic-Con attendees, the hotel room is a place to stash your stuff, hopefully take a shower at some point, and maybe get some sleep when you're not in line for Hall H. So you're not really in your hotel room very often.
No. Okay. Wally said Airbnb is always an option. Be very cautious about using Airbnb.
Yes.
We have heard entirely too many stories every single year about people who book an Airbnb hotel and then their host realizes, oh, it's Comic-Con. I can actually get like 5 times what I'm charging you. So they'll cancel on you and then relist it at a much higher rate. Sometimes they do that like a month before Comic-Con. So you're after the general hotel sale and you are screwed with very little recourse. So just be very cautious about doing Airbnb. That's my PSA. Some people do and have great experiences, but like I said, every single year I have multiple people telling me the same sob story. So
I've heard the same thing. Mostly the people who don't have the horror story are the ones who don't shoot for downtown. But even then, we've still heard the exact same story.
Livia asked, we will receive a number on the line, and I think she means, will it show us our place in line? And the answer to that is no. So the example that they used a couple years ago is we are all Cheerios in a bowl, and there is a giant spoon that is Expo Logic, I guess, that comes down and it scoops up a couple Cheerios, but there's no way to know like which ones it's going to pick up. So it will not show you like your place in line. You just have to sit here and stare at this spinning blue wheel for an hour, which is why there's all kinds of memes about how much people hate that wheel.
So some of the other questions we've had that we should go through. Phi B asks, well, this is my first time entering. How should I prep for my trip? What should I expect at Comic-Con? How should we organize and sort all the chaos of things to go on? I would have to say follow our site, our Twitter, read our blog, follow the podcast, and in general, just pay attention to things going on. And we will be offering tips over the next 249 days of how to handle Comic-Con.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing to say, but it's definitely a chore to prep for Comic-Con. And that goes for Marcelo as well, who asked tips for first-time attendees. We'll have plenty of those.
Yeah.
Let me see. What are some other ones? Cavi Warrior asked for buying for someone else. Do I need their email? I don't think you need email to actually log in and do anything, correct?
No. The only information you need from them is member ID and last name. Now you might need email like to coordinate payments, but that's your thing.
And America Chris Joy asked if I get chosen to purchase tickets, can I buy badges for 3 members, not including myself? Absolutely. Yep. You can. Just remember that the first name you enter to enter into a purchasing session must be one of those 3 people you're buying for, not yourself.
Yep.
Let's see, what else do we have? Uncle Pappy asked, have you heard of people who have gone for years, didn't get in on pre-reg, then they didn't get a ticket on open reg and haven't been able to get in on years since they only have open reg available? I personally haven't heard of anyone, but I'm sure it happens.
I have.
It sucks.
I have. Yeah,
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I've heard people.
It's all like Carrie said. It all depends on the giant spoon that swoops up whichever Cheerios it gets. And sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Personally, my belief is the people who don't get lucky are the ones who don't follow us, don't take our advice, and don't plan enough. Sometimes it happens. You do everything you're supposed to do, and you still don't get through. That is unfortunate. We do feel bad about that. But there's really, at that point, it's just luck of the draw.
All right. So the yellow status bar right now says Red Warrior needs badges badly. Red Warrior is about to be randomly sorted into registration sessions. So that means that it is now 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so they will start sorting here any minute. And so I'm going to tweet and we'll see who gets through to buy badges.
All right. And personally, and with everybody here in the chat, I'm going to say good luck, everybody.
Yes. Good luck to everyone. We absolutely wish like everyone who wanted to attend could attend, and so good luck to everyone today. I hope you all get what you want. Okay, Sheldon Cooper, sorry if this was our answer, but if the person's member login says they are not verified, can we not purchase a badge for them? That is correct.
Yeah.
Each person that you purchase for must be eligible on their own.
And it will tell you if they're not eligible.
Yes. All right. So at this point, we are just waiting. It usually takes a minute or 4 for them to sort everyone, and then people will slowly start getting through to purchase.
My yellow bar says is reminding everybody that you'll have 15 minutes to complete your purchase. Please definitely keep that in mind. 15 minutes means you don't have to rush or power through. However, once you're in there, 15 minutes goes by fast. So it is best to have all the info that you need available to you so you can get through smoothly and within those 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yep. Take a deep breath before you start, and then carry on.
Yep. All right.
Let's see if we can anything else here while we're waiting for it to start.
Clever Kev has flies in his tummy, so it's okay, Kev. We're here for you.
I think at this point, everyone is just like staring at their computer.
That cracked me up earlier. The first person who signs in during the registration process has to be the buyer, right?
What do you mean?
I don't know exactly what that means, but the first person in.
So when it asks for the member ID you want to purchase for, I mean, you can enter for anyone you want to purchase for. It doesn't have to be yourself.
And the payment is just, there's only one payment, but it can be from anyone. You can use someone else's.
Yes, you absolutely can.
So no, the first person in doesn't have to be the buyer. You can use your own credit card and buy for the other 3 people that you're buying for.
Yes.
And then get the payment, the money back from them, personally. So just make sure, the first person you enter is someone you're actually purchasing for, not someone who already has a badge or who is not planning to purchase.
Oh, yes. Also a good reminder on the yellow bar. Now is the time not to refresh your page.
The time has passed. However, if you get kicked out for any reason, all you have to do is just click the link again, re-enter your code. Because you entered prior to 9 a.m., you're authorized, and it'll just let you back in, and it will keep your place in line, even though we don't have places in line.
It's all behind the curtain. Pay no attention to what's happening behind the curtain.
Yes. All right. So who is in yet? Anyone? I'm not seeing anybody yet.
Anybody yet?
Like I said, we're all just sitting here staring at our computers right now.
Yeah, and that's really all you can do. I like this. The SDCC waiting room needs a chat feature. That's not a bad idea.
I mean, it would go like so fast you wouldn't be able to read it.
Yeah, true.
Like, the other one would be like, why am I not?
900,000 people chatting. No. All right. Come on. Somebody's got to get through here. We're 4 minutes in.
While we're waiting, a couple of people have asked, when is Hotel Apocalypse? That happens early next year, correct?
Yeah. Yes. It was like a week or 2 after WonderCon this year. So I would very much suspect similar timing for 2019.
So March, April-ish.
Yeah.
Come on, James Stradamus, give us a date.
Yeah, I'm actually going to WonderCon. You would think I would know, but I don't.
Next year. April.
Yeah. Spring.
Early April.
There you go.
James Stradamus has spoken.
Uncle Pappy asked, why is the virtual line more nerve-wracking than the actual Hall H line? Because in the Hall H line, you already have your Comic-Con badge.
Well, yeah, and you can, in the Hall H line, you can also, kind of estimate how far back you are.
Yeah, this is all
Here,
Yeah.
it's all behind the curtain.
And in the hallway
Alright.
line, you have people to talk to. Let's see.
All right. I still don't see anybody who's gotten in yet. We're 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
sort those million people.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cavi Warrior, Twin Do Badges ship? Not yet. June.
Badges?
June is the answer.
Yes. Don't ask us till June.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sure it's going to get stopped because someone will say that they have tickets. But earlier, Wally asked, do you guys get tickets? How many times each of you guys been going to Comic-Con? Or how do you guys get tickets? Well, some of us get press through Comic-Con for running this site. Others of us just do what you do and purchase during open reg or returning reg if we can. But I've been going for 25 years. How many years have you?
Comic-Con says the waiting room is slowly moving people to registration sessions. That's what the yellow status bar says. So I guess someone's in. Just FYI.
Yeah, they just haven't tweeted yet.
Yeah. All right, you can continue, James. Sorry.
Oh, I said I've been going for 25. This will be my 26th year going to Comic-Con in a row.
I think this will be my 9th.
Yeah, because you started in 2010, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, technically that would be your 10th if you count 2010, right?
No, I think, well.
However numbers
10,
work.
12, 13, 14.
Been going since 2010.
Okay, yeah.
I started in 2012.
My 10th. There we go. Math is hard, guys. Math is hard. I'm right. I don't do the math.
What about you, Andy? How many times have you gone?
I've been going since 2012, I want to say. I don't remember if I got in 2011. So this will be my 7th year.
Yeah, and I should have been going since 1979 or something, since I lived in San Diego, but I didn't actually go until the mid-90s. Because I'm a dummy, apparently. Could have gone when it was not crowded.
Yeah.
As crowded. Sorry. It was still crowded.
Oh, somebody said they're in. Oh, no.
Ooh.
So they're in the waiting room.
Oh.
Boo. You guys think you're so funny.
Yeah, there's just a variety of people with numbers saying how many years, 12 to 15, 10 years, 4th in a row, 8 in a row.
I still haven't seen a single person who said they got in, which doesn't mean that people aren't. I mean, maybe
they're just not tweeting about it.
Who aren't on Twitter. Like, that is entirely possible. I know it always seems odd for us to say this, but there's so many people who attend this convention who don't tweet. So a lot of times you just don't see what's happening sometimes.
I was going to say, come on, where's the big spoon? But then the line from The Matrix keeps running through my head. There is no spoon, and now I'm panicking. So.
Fantastic.
Oh, okay. Someone did get in. Okay, someone said they got their preview night passes.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. So people are actually getting through. So now we sit here and we wait.
So while we're waiting, we can answer a couple of the other random questions we've gotten. XOQT asked, how much do you think hotels would be a night? Anywhere from about, now during the Comic-Con sale, they're anywhere from around $170, $180 a night, all the way up to $500 or so.
I don't think it's 500 or so a night.
400,
I think it's like 400, and that's usually the suite at the Hard Rock.
Right. Or that one fancy hotel that has 8 rooms or something.
What, the Pinbury?
I don't know. There's always one that why is that one $429?
Yeah.
But outside the Comic-Con sale, they can be anywhere from $100 for little motels out in La Mesa, all the way up to $1,000 a night for
yes
the Bayfront next door.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I did just see a question about this on Twitter. So if you participated in returning registration, and you were able to get some but not all badge types, today you can pick up anything that you were missing. So that doesn't mean that, like, if you want preview night but you were only able to get Saturday or not Saturday, let's say Thursday and Sunday last time. This time you can just pick up Friday, Saturday, and preview night. You don't have to repurchase the 2 days you already got. If you already got 4 days but not preview night, you can purchase just preview night today. You can basically just pick up anything that you missed. So.
Andrea,
go ahead.
Andrea just asked, can we use multiple credit cards? No, one credit card per group purchase on
Yes.
one session.
Yes. Marcello said, if I can't go to the convention, may I transfer the badge if I need to or I need to cancel? Badges are non-transferable, so if you can't go, it cannot be transferred to anyone else. You can get a refund less 10% if for any reason you can't go, but you need to contact Comic-Con International to do that. We're seeing a couple people now get in.
Yep.
It still seems like it's not that many right now, but I see a couple people who say they've gotten in and the preview night's still available.
Justin the pilot posted in the chat, got in with all days purchased.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing some victory tweets coming out. So congratulations to those who have gotten through.
Yep. And then since we were talking about hotel prices, Starburst 391 said $800 a night in the Indigo. That is probably, I can tell you for a fact, that is not through the Comic-Con International Hotel sale, which has like the special rates. That would be like outside the system. Let's see here. So people are slowly getting through. So like I said, you're not going to probably see as many people getting through as you did during returning registration, just because it's a much larger pool of people trying for the amount of badges. But we are seeing people get through. So let's just go over the timeline again. So last year, it took 23 minutes into the sale for preview night to sell out. We're at 12 minutes right now. So probably here in about 10 minutes is roughly when preview night will sell out. After that, it was 37 minutes after the hour for Saturday to sell out. So we've got a little while. But don't be panicking yet if you haven't made it through. They let people through slowly.
Yeah.
One of the things that will help other days be available as we go is that there are a significant number of people who are in it just to get the preview night or one other day that they missed during returning reg. So I think a wider variety of people will be able to get tickets as people will only purchase 1 or 2 days.
Yep. Yep, that's entirely true.
Aker asked, how does the Comic-Con hotel rates sale go? They haven't done that and would appreciate the help. When it gets closer, we will have tips and articles about that. So just look, once it's announced, just look on our site and we'll have how-tos up on the site.
Yep. Still seeing a whole lot of people making it through, a whole lot of happy people.
Yeah.
But again, don't panic yet. Clever Kev asked, did someone mention where we can see what days they're selling out or how many are left? So what's going to happen is Comic-Con International will tweet as days sell out. We'll talk about it here. We'll tweet as well. But basically the order is going to be preview night will sell out first, then Saturday, then Friday, and then either Thursday or Sunday. They're kind of interchangeable. But that's roughly the order of how badges sell out. So right now, everything is still available. Let's see here. Sarah G asked, you're able to purchase multiple days at once, right? Yes, you can purchase any available badge types. But yes, as Google Knows pointed out, preview night is not a standalone option. You have to purchase Thursday through Sunday and then add on preview night. Yep, and that's what the yellow status bar says right now.
Yep.
CTK Landfam asked, was it 1 out of 15 that get in? I think it was 1 out of 16 on our 2013 numbers.
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
worse. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's worse too, because I'm pretty sure more people try now than they did in 2013. So it might be less than a 60%.
I think it's probably down to like 4%.
Yeah. But you also have to remember, a lot of people like use other people's codes, but maybe are really just trying for like one person. So maybe you have like 3 codes, but you're really trying for one person. So like not all of those logins do necessarily indicate that like each person wants one badge. Like it's really hard to calculate, basically.
Anakin Fids asked, I've been in the waiting room since 9. At what time do you give up and close the browser? When
it's sold out. Yep.
Don't close it until it's sold out.
Yes. Because even that one day, whichever day it is still worth it. Even if you just want to be eligible for returning registration next year, you get that one day, it's one day you can get in. And you can do offsites the other days.
And again, there really is like no bad day at Comic-Con. There really isn't. Like there's panels every day. There's stuff on the floor every day. For the days that you don't get, there's cool offsites. Like there's so much to do. So.
And Michelle asked, so this is my first time. Sorry for the stupid questions. There are no stupid questions. But does the waiting room page change when you get selected? Absolutely. It will change. Yep. The blue circle will finally go away.
It will start asking you to enter things.
Yep. All right. What questions do you guys have?
Uncle Pappy Wolf asked, are there offsite panels? Kind of. There are definitely offsite events and special things. The panels kind of have decreased over the years with the absence of Nerd HQ and Nerdist no longer doing their live panel broadcast interviews.
Nerdist did, though. They had Nerdist HQ last year, which kind of had panels. It was just
mainly just their own shows.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, it was panels with their people, not like panels with actors necessarily from other things. So
they did that for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But there's other offsite of things. You know, of course, there's Conan and just random other things that happen as one-offs. But there is no like event with panels that happen multiple days like Nerd HQ used to. Which someone asked earlier if we missed Nerd HQ, and absolutely we missed Nerd HQ.
Oh yes. Oh, so much. We miss it so much.
Yes, I'm not sure anyone misses Nerd HQ more than I do. But yeah, I would not unfortunately count on that coming back.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. All right, let's see here. Do you think they'll close the roads like they did last year? I think they will. I think last year was definitely an experiment, and I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of positive feedback about that. So I think that will happen again.
Yep, I think so too. All right, so we're 19 minutes in. So like I said, last year it took 23 minutes for preview night to sell out. So I think it could go at like any point.
Yeah, so far it looks like everything's still available right now.
Yep, and in fact, they changed the yellow status bar to we are monitoring badge inventory very closely, which usually when they say that means that it's probably running low.
Mm-hmm.
More people saying they got all plus preview night on Twitter.
Yeah, seeing that too.
Back for the first time since 2014. So
that's awesome.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, still seeing lots of people making it through. But again, don't panic. And if you were here, like, just to add preview night for yourself, stay in. Help someone else get, like, a day, you know?
Yeah.
Preview night is not the be-all, end-all. In fact, James and I haven't been since, what, 2013?
No, I don't think I've been since, like, 2011 or 2012. I think I've stepped foot in preview night for about 2 minutes to pick up something, like one time in the last 7 years.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but that's going to change this year because if you don't know, our party this year is going to be on Sunday night. We are going to be, what's the tagline, James?
The only Comic-Con after party that is actually after Comic-Con.
That's right. That's right. So if you are in town on Sunday night and you want something to do, this will not interfere with any other plans, unless your plan was to get on a plane. So come hang out with us. We're relatively fun people. I don't know where yet. I don't know what time, but it will be a good time. And it'll be PaceyCon 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, can we actually get Pacey to show up?
I don't know, but I was actually planning on having like the little paper face mask printed at least. So, all right. Sarah A asked, "What is the deal with preview night? Why is it such a wanted night?" Truthfully, the reason I think that people want preview night so bad is just everyone wants the full Comic-Con experience. And so the full Comic-Con experience would be 4 days plus preview night. Preview night's cool. They show TV pilots up in Ballroom 20 that usually haven't been seen before, but the main draw of it is it's your first chance to step foot onto the show floor. Not every booth is open for purchase, but a lot of them are. So it's also a great way to like knock out some of your shopping in that little 3-hour period. And then you can spend the rest of the con doing something else. But like I said, to me, I personally think the main reason people love preview night so much is just people want the full Comic-Con experience, and they think like that's how to do it.
Also, just so you guys know, I have been invited back to be Justin Harder's booth babe. If you didn't catch that last year, that was a lot of fun, and I will definitely be doing that again this year because I really enjoyed being his booth babe, helping him out, and just introducing a lot of people to his work. So that was fun.
Mr. Applesauce72 said, "Any thoughts on last year's introduction to a lottery system for the popular merchandise booths?" I think that'll be back. Comic-Con International rarely implements something of that scale if they don't plan to keep it around for a while.
And thoughts on it was, I think, generally positive.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it depends. I think it very much depends. The answer to this is the same answer as it always is basically if it personally benefited you, you think it's great. If it personally hurts you and your experience, you think it's awful. Yeah, but I mean, overall, I like it. You like it. I mean, there's plenty of other people though, who don't like it very much. Like, I don't think Sean's a big fan. So there's room for opinions for everything. No one's ever going to agree on everything.
Yeah. CCI just tweeted that preview night inventory is low.
All right. So we're about on last year's schedule. So like I said, yep. So last year at this time is when it sold out. So if it's running low, we might get an extra minute or two out of it.
I'm still looking at the Cheerio, so I'm not even in yet.
Nope, I'm not either. But people are still getting through and getting preview night for right now.
Uncle Pappy Wolf asked, do you qualify for pre-reg if you volunteer? No, you do not qualify if you volunteer, only if you've purchased a badge. You do qualify, though, for priority volunteer for the next year, which is something in and of itself. Basically, you get first shot, and you're, quote-unquote, guaranteed to be picked as a volunteer. I use that in quotes because with CCI, nothing is really guaranteed, but chances are a lot better if you want to volunteer the next year. All right, let's see. Any other questions? Anybody else? Anybody having any difficulty, any issues so far?
I don't think so. I haven't seen anyone yet who's had like any issues, which is great.
I saw someone mentioned like a white screen or the yellow bar not updating for more than a few minutes. That's about all I've seen, is like one or two random things. And someone asked, Lexi asked how long before everything sold out last year. It was, I think you said 64 minutes for the entire sellout last year. So we're looking for it to take about that long again.
Yeah.
All right, now the yellow bar is saying that inventory is running low and you might not be able to purchase a preview night badge if you're selected for a registration session right now. So right now it looks like it's going to be running out within the next minute or two.
Yeah. But again, that's just a couple minutes slower than last year. So we might, it might take, 70 minutes instead of 64. The horror. All right. Still seeing people who got through with preview night, so that's great.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go at any minute now.
Sarah asked, I'm trying to buy tickets for both me and the boyfriend. If one of us gets in, should we shut down the other's registration? The yellow bar is saying it will not validate if one of the IDs are being used in another session. If one of you gets in and buys for both of you and you have no one else to buy for, then yes, you should just shut down that other session because you have no one else to buy for. I mean, unless you want to try and find someone to purchase for, but, you know, probably be a little difficult. Well, really, not really difficult, but
within that 15-minute time frame. Let's put it that way.
Right. That's right.
No. But yes, if you have two going, you can buy two on one, so the other one's not needed.
Okay, so I do have one person who tweeted us. They said, I had problems in the waiting room where the circle stopped and had to re-enter several times, but no problems since 9. So, I mean, truthfully, that's like the first real problem I've seen. So overall, the sale seems to be going incredibly well.
Which we're very glad to see.
Switch asks, wait, can we still get picked? I am still in the waiting room. Yes, everyone who's not picked is still in the same waiting room with the spinning blue circle.
Yep.
Your screen will not change except for that yellow bar until you get picked, if you get picked.
Yep.
Charles asked, is the Marriott or Hilton good places to stay for the con, or is there a better hotel? We really can't answer better hotel questions because everyone has different preferences, but both the Marriott and Hilton next to or close to the convention center, all 2 or 3 Marriotts and Hiltons are all very good hotels for staying close to the convention center.
But that also means that they are in very high demand. So be aware that the closer you go, the more in demand a hotel is, which makes actually scoring it that much harder.
Yeah, the Bayfront and the Marriott Marquis are both 2 of the like top 3 or 4 demand.
I think those are the top 2, honestly.
Yeah. So they'll be full quickly.
Yes, they will. Hotel Apocalypse is its own little monster. But
CCI just tweeted that preview night has sold out.
all right. So now we are
9:28.
Yep.
Anakin Vids asked, hey, I got into the open registration, but it does not let me in with my member ID. What should I type? Both my member ID or last name?
It should tell you. I mean, it should tell you exactly what it wants.
Yeah.
Like, just basically just follow the instructions. Okay, let's see here. Alejandro said the shuttles are great if you were staying further away from the convention. That's absolutely true, and I don't think we've mentioned it. Most of the hotels through the hotel block, the ones that aren't downtown, are on what CCI calls the shuttle route, and they have free shuttles that go around and they go to your hotel and take you to the convention center and back for free.
Ashley Mortis is asking, do all the hotels in the area actually get blocked out, or are they truly booked? I went in July to try to book for next year, and it was already showing unavailable. They block themselves out because they have different deals with Comic-Con International. It's based on each hotel's, I guess, policy and business practices. So one hotel might allow you to book for next year. Some other hotel will probably not. So mileage varies on that one.
Yeah, they lock them out as soon as, because hotels typically make days available at least a year in advance, but they lock out the range because they know that they're going to be sending some of those rooms to Comic-Con. It's just each year, I think it may be kind of like this variation of how many rooms they actually submit, how many they need to keep for special other things. Who knows? But basically, they lock them out even though they haven't been technically sold.
Yeah. Okay, so C. Anderson asked, not sure if I already asked, but how long did it take for Saturdays to sell out last year? It took 37 minutes. So since it looks like we are running just a couple of minutes behind, I would guess that it'll probably sell out around like 40 minutes after 42. So you probably have about 10 or so minutes right now before Saturday sells out. But again, even if all you can get is one day, like you should absolutely still get it. Like there's so much cool stuff at that convention.
Absolutely.
Seen a lot of people sad about preview night, but it's okay. Henry K asked, is SDCC going to be better next year versus this year?
This year.
Oh,
you and I both, James. I think you and I were both like, this is the most fun we've had in like 7 years.
And I'll echo that because I had a blast this past year.
And that is the beauty of Comic-Con, that each person's experience is,
different.
What you do. I mean, honestly, I've gone like 2 years ago. I went to panels for 3 straight days, and while all of the panels were great and I had fun in the panels, I didn't feel like that was a great Comic-Con because of all the waiting in line that I had to do. So I mean,
and then all the other stuff you miss, like offsites, exclusives, things like that.
Yeah.
So,
but again, it all depends on your individual priorities.
Yeah. Amigo asked, since Disney will also have their own streaming service, does it mean Marvel movies and TVs won't join SDCC forever? Absolutely not. Marvel still shows up at Comic-Con when they have something to show. Even in years that there's D23. They went to both D23 and Comic-Con a couple of years ago. And they were, a month apart. So, or a week apart, actually, last time. So, I mean, they will still go. They still bring, it's just that Disney Studios themselves hasn't been in like 6 years. And we expect them not, but if they're, you can actually possibly expect them to show up for the Disney Plus because they'll want to get as much promotional information out there as possible. So I would actually think that they may show up just because of that.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the same way that like DC pushed DC Universe so hard this year, which is their streaming service. I think Marvel. I think they are absolutely going to want to push that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully, hey Marvel, how about you tell people what you're doing instead of like showing up with that was it the therapy center and not telling anyone?
Yeah. I still don't know what that was. I just heard random, oh yeah, the Marvel was there. What? All right. Whatever.
So for right now, again, what we're doing is we're waiting for Saturday to sell out. Which will be a couple more minutes. So for right now, people are still getting through and able to purchase all 4 of the main days. So yeah, we're just sitting here waiting right now, but I think it will go here in probably about 5 to 7 minutes. Go ahead.
Twitter, do volunteers get everything regular attendees get when not in a volunteer shift, like autographs, swag, etc.? Yes, I think the only thing that volunteers were locked out of last year was that Mondo poster entry.
I think you're right.
I think pretty much everything else volunteers could get in for.
Yes, that's exactly correct. Okay. Andre asked, is it hard for the large studios / companies to get employee tickets? So what you'll need, you would need to have applied for a professional badge. Which at this point is over, but basically if you work for like one of the studios, that is really like what you would be.
And the only studio people that attend Comic-Con are typically the ones working it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just get into the group that's working at the booth, and you get to go, but you have to work.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And even with Comic-Con, if you volunteer, it's still worth working those 3 hours for Comic-Con, and then you have the rest of the con to do whatever you want. And that volunteer badge, once you're off duty, is just like a regular attendee badge. It'll get you into anywhere a regular attendee can go.
Kim said she's listening, so hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Wilby said, is volunteer registration still ahead? Andy, I'll let you take that one.
Volunteer registration, priority registration has already gotten underway. So if you volunteered last year, you can go into your member ID, click on the volunteer tab, and you can sign up to be a volunteer again. They haven't done open volunteer registration yet.
But
I haven't seen anything on where that when that will happen. But what you're going to do is you are going to sign up for the interest list.
I think the interest list is closed.
I believe you're right. I think the interest list for 2019 is closed. But if you go into the volunteer tab in your member ID, it will tell you whether or not. Once you're on the interest list, that's telling Comic-Con that you are interested or want to volunteer. So once the volunteer open registration comes on, then you will go in at 10 a.m., whichever morning it tells you to go in, and it will allow you to register as a volunteer.
Yep.
Speaking of volunteers, we had a question. If I fog 561, if I score volunteer option and purchase tickets too, which would you do? What's the pros and cons? The short answer is, honestly, I mean, to experience more stuff, I would do a little bit of both.
Yep.
Just pick one day to volunteer, and if you get all 4 days, obviously you may want to just do all 4 days. But if you have only 1 or 2 days, volunteer the other days and go all the days and volunteer and experience Comic-Con in all its glory.
And volunteering is a great way to get behind the scenes. Also, sorry, on a different topic, CCI tweeted out that Saturday is running low.
Yep. So that means that Saturday could go at any moment. So maybe we are about on last year's time. So
highs and lows. Aaron Brown on Twitter says, my internet died, came back after a minute, and I refreshed right back in, then got all days, including preview night.
Nice.
That's
all right.
The low and the biggest high.
Very nice. Okay.
Now you get to relax.
Yes. So, like I said, the interest list for open volunteer registration has already happened.
Okay.
Let's see here. All right. So, what other questions do we have, guys? So I've actually had a couple people ask this, but I'll go ahead and read this one. Bob Martin said, my family has been able to attend Comic-Con every year since 2009. I should be grateful, but we have never been able to snag 4-day passes. Meanwhile, seeing some others who get 4-day badges every year. Is there a trick? There's really not. I mean, there's truly not. About the only advantage you can really have is basically just to work in a group with a larger pool of people, because the more people who try for you, the more chances you have. But I mean, beyond that, it really all just comes down to luck. Like there's no fancy trick. Like you don't sacrifice a goat in your backyard and get Comic-Con badges. Like it is what it is.
Oh, Scott K asked, how many hours a day do you have to work if you volunteer? That answer is 3. Basically, you get assigned, you go in, you check in, they assign you to a volunteer shift. Basically, you'll probably either be telling people where to go and how to get there, or you will be doing line management, standing there holding a sign saying end of line or something like that. But basically, you're going to work for 3 hours, and then the rest of the day is yours to explore Comic-Con and all its wonderment.
Somebody said looks like Saturday is gone, but CC, I hadn't tweeted yet.
It's just running low according to the yellow box.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so too.
Yeah, still
However,
running low.
it is possible though that people know that it's gone because when you get through, it will show you the available dates, and if it says 0, that means that it's gone. And so, unfortunately, here in a little bit, when everything is gone, there's always a handful of people who make it through, and it's like some cruel trick because it'll show the 5 days and it will say 0 available for each, which means, unfortunately, that it all sold out before you got through. So just be aware.
And that happened to a decent amount of people during returning reg who got in when Sunday was supposedly there, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it happens every year. I've had it happen to me several times. Like I said, it's like a cruel little trick because you're like, I made it in. Oh wait. But yeah. Let's see here. What questions do you guys have?
Someone said Saturday is the worst day.
CC, I just tweeted that Saturday has sold out.
Well, there you go.
All
Saturday sold out for you, Salacious Crumb. Now you don't.
I think Salacious Crumb might be talking about days to volunteer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
As in, like, Saturday is the worst day to volunteer because there's other stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I get you.
Again, it all depends on what you're shooting for at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Saturday's gone.
Bye-bye, Saturday.
All right. Matthew asked, any info on early bird hotel reservations? We talked a little bit about this earlier, but not right now. We probably won't hear anything about early bird until early next year. For those who don't know, early bird is the first of the 2 hotel sales. It is the kinder of the 2 hotel sales. It is for non-downtown hotels. They are non-refundable if you choose to buy one, but it is relatively painless. You do have to prepay for the whole thing, though. Whereas with the general hotel sale, you usually have to prepay for 2 nights, and then you can pay the rest when you get there, which that part's a little bit nicer.
And Amy Cerise asked, what about parking sales? That usually starts in like late March, April time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's April.
Because it finishes in June. The 6 weeks finishes in June typically.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it starts in April, May, because it started this last time when I was in Vienna. So that was good. All right.
Marta on Twitter says, got all 4 days. My first time ever. We'll be going from Spain. That's awesome.
Nice. Very nice.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
I think very early in the show, someone on the chat asked how many people travel to Comic-Con. And I'm going to say it's probably like at least 10,000 people travel from outside the local area.
Oh, I would say far more than that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking because the
Way
hotel,
more than that.
how many hotel rooms sell out and how many people fit in those. So yeah, maybe it's more like 40,000.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, it's way more than 10,000.
10,000 rooms get taken. Let's put it that way.
Yes. But that's also why most rooms hold like 2 to 4 people. And then there's other people also who book outside the system. I think about 40,000 is probably more likely. So the SoCal people do outnumber the rest of the people, but far and away, like most people travel to the show. Far and away. And for anyone who doesn't know, I am one of them.
Yep. Me too, technically.
Yeah, technically. I live in Oklahoma, though, where in 15 minutes, the terrible alarm will go off because we test once a week for a tornado alarm.
All
Let's
right.
see here. All right.
I'm a lazy local. I just get to hang out here in El Cajon.
Ride the trolley, whatever. Whatever. I used to do that. Although, when I lived in San Diego some years, I would actually get a hotel,
Yeah.
back when it was easier to get hotels.
I think a decent amount of people actually in SoCal do that.
Yeah. Well, also, I think during the years that I was helping to run the brown coat booth, I would stay in a hotel just because, when you're running a booth, you want to be right next to it as much as possible.
Yeah, because you're schlepping stuff back and forth.
Yep.
Still seeing lots and lots of happy people over on Twitter, which is great.
Yeah, not seeing anything about any other days low yet. So
Straight
still have.
I was paying and system locked. Now can't get back in. Hopefully you screenshotted, but if not, you can go into your member ID and contact Comic-Con through your member ID and let them know that you have a problem.
Yes.
They do have people working in the office answering and helping, hopefully right now, to try and get things handled as they happen.
Yeah. So Friday will be the next day to go. And honestly, I think it could go at pretty much any time.
Uncle Pappy Wolf asks, how many people do you think never get a hotel and sleep outside the whole week? Very few. I'm sure it happens, but most people who do that are only there for a day or two. They just, they show up, they go to the con, they sleep overnight, they go to the con again, and then they leave. I don't think most people would stay outside for 4 days. I'm sure it happens, but I don't think it's very many people.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
Christian just credited us for them getting a room at Dragon Con, so you're welcome.
Nice.
We're apparently Lucky Charms.
That's funny. Okay, so next steps, if you were lucky enough to get a badge, if you haven't already, you should go ahead and just log into your member ID and confirm your shipping address. You don't have to do that officially until, I want to say, like May 13th. If I'm wrong about that date, don't come at me with pitchforks. But you do have to confirm your badge in order to have it shipped.
Friday's out.
All right. See, like I said, it'll go at any time. All right.
Yep,
so
47.
So what's left is Sunday and Thursday, and those are kind of interchangeable in which one sells out. But even if that is all that is available, that is absolutely what, like, you should get what's available. Absolutely. What was I saying?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Something brilliant, I'm sure.
I'm sure. All right.
Yes, I see multiple people mention sleeping in their car, which I suppose is better than sleeping on the sidewalk, but still.
Is it? I mean, we sleep on the sidewalk.
Yeah, but we also have a hotel room to go back and shower at.
Yes, that's true.
So, yeah. Where are you going to shower if you sleep in your car? Find a friend. That's what it is. Find a friend who can use their hotel room. Someone said Thursday is the best. Thursday is pretty cool.
I like Thursday.
I love Thursday.
Yeah.
Honestly, usually my favorite panels are on Thursday.
The 1 o'clock CBS panel?
No.
That is your favorite panel because that's the one that you get to take a nap through after spending all night on a sidewalk.
Any CBS panel is the nap panel. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's hard.
It is.
What's the line? The opinions of Carrie are not necessarily those of San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog, although technically are because she is San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog. But still, CBS, you can still invite us to anything, and we will cover it without napping.
I cover CBS very nicely, like in written form, but on the podcast, no, not about it. Not about it. All right.
I used to be all about the CBS panel.
That's fine. A lot of people are. I'm not kidding though. Like James is not kidding. Like I've slept through it several years, but it's a good panel. Okay. All right. Katina said, "I loved Thursday last year. It was the Great Debate. The Great Debate is a fantastic panel."
Yes. Oh, yes. Any of those TV Guide fan panels, EW does them too. Those are the ones to go to. Those are my favorites personally now.
Yeah.
Look into shower wipes. Again, we've been getting a lot of tips on how to shower at Comic-Con, including jump in the ocean.
No. Don't jump in the bay. Please don't jump in the bay.
Fountains.
It's worse. It is worse, I promise.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. You never know, guys. Godzilla might be in that bay. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Dion asked, so have all of your broadcasters gotten in? We all have badges. We're trying for friends is really what we're doing today. Yeah.
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 Oh, see, now that's an actual logical suggestion. If you have a gym membership, sleep in your car and shower at the gym.
I mean, I've heard of these things.
That would work.
Yeah.
Little did you guys know that this podcast would just be hygiene tips.
By the way, just so you're wondering why the emphasis on where are you going to shower? Because we want everyone to shower every day.
Please.
With that many people in one area, really, please. That's like tip number 1 for Comic-Con. Shower once a day.
At least.
Thank you.
Yes.
George Clinton brought the funk last year. Let's not everybody else bring the funk along with it.
We used to call that the essence of Comic-Con.
It is the essence of Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
We almost, so last year, we give out free stuff through our prize mule. Last year, we almost had like little Tic Tac packages printed that said like, for the essence of Comic-Con. So like, please do this so your breath doesn't smell. Yeah, good times.
And Axe body spray doesn't cover it up. I don't care what they tell you on the commercials. Don't just rely on some sort of smelly thing.
Use it also. Combine
Yes.
shower deodorant after the shower.
This is just what we're like in real life, guys. We're just yeah.
If you're camping out, baby wipes work like a charm.
All right. So at this point, we are again waiting for Thursday and Sunday to sell out, which I think will go here in about 10 minutes is how long I think I have. I think we have 10 minutes. And so, like I said, I know what I was talking about earlier. Next steps. Go confirm your shipping address and your member ID because you have to do that by May 13th or whatever date it is anyway. And then after that, there's really not a whole lot else to do until the spring when we'll find out about the hotel sales. So that's really about it. You can buy your flights, but beyond that, just kind of hang tight. So if you've got a badge, like congratulations, you are going to the most magical place on Earth. Sorry, Disney. What?
I got my little Mickey sticker from last night when I was at Disneyland. It was
very nice.
It was on my Mickey cookie that I am now eating during the show.
We just don't care anymore, guys. We've just like given up on this podcast, but we appreciate you guys watching.
We're just waiting for it to sell out.
I watched the Mickey 90th anniversary special on ABC, so yeah, I'm cool too.
I did not. I'm not cool. But then I don't have like cable or anything like that, so I'd have to go find it online somewhere.
You don't need cable. All you need is the app.
Oh,
There's an app for that.
That's true.
Oh, this is nice. So the yellow status bar now says, "Thank you for your continued patience. We sincerely appreciate your patronage." So yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's right. So again, I think we have a little bit, probably less than 10 minutes or around 10 minutes until until everything sells out. Henry K, I'm not entirely certain what he's quoting, but he says the Comic-Con 2019 early bird hotel cell will be opening soon. Please check back in early November for more information. Well, it is early November.
So where's my more information?
Right?
Right. Yeah, seriously.
All right. So let's see here. What questions do you guys have? I mean, I think at this point, everyone is, again, still just staring at their computer like, please just go through. Please just go through.
Just one. I just want one day.
One day more.
Wow. There's a lot of people with some good success, and it just validates the need for a buying group. Jason on the says all 14 people in our group plus 3 more were able to get at least all 4 days, and most of us also got preview night. Huge success.
I mean,
awesome.
seriously though, like the only way pretty much to get a badge these days is with a badge buying group. Like the more people you have in your group,
you know, or just you and your group of friends, you know, you don't have to go searching for random people. Just gather everyone you know who goes to Comic-Con.
or again, even people you know who don't go to Comic-Con, just be like, hey mom, will you make a member ID and like give me your registration code? Like people do it every year. So use what little advantages you have.
My mom would do that.
I don't think my mom would do that.
No.
Hey, I got the date right. The shipping address verification is May 13th.
You said the 14th.
No, I'm pretty sure I said the 13th.
All right. I'm going to go listen to this back when
No. She totally said the 13th. Yeah, totally.
All right. My bad.
All right.
I just would like Carrie to be wrong once.
I'm wrong all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I am not James Stradamus.
James Stradamus is wrong like 99% of the time. I think. Could be 100%. We don't know yet because, you know, I'm still going to make more predictions.
All right. So Rockford Ice Hogs just said, I'm in grabbing Sunday. That's the right attitude. Like, again, if you get in, just get what you can. Like, at the very least, it means you're eligible for returning registration next year. And again, there's so much amazing stuff like outside the convention. Honestly, a couple of years, like when there haven't been panels and I've been kind of like that I wanted to see, and I've been kind of forced to go out and do the offsites more. Like the offsites are awesome.
They really are.
There's some great ones.
And I'm gonna talk about what Salacious Crumb just said for a second. Why is Comic-Con about movies and actors and not about comics art or writing anymore? It absolutely is about comics art and writing anymore. There actually are more panels about comics art and writing than panels about movies and actors. It's just they don't get the publicity. It's not what you see being talked about. Yeah. But they happen, and they happen in large numbers every single day of the show.
And the even better news is a lot of times those panels are easier to get into than, say, Hall H.
Yeah.
So if that's what you care about, like you have a plethora of amazing panels to choose from, amazing creators out on the show floor. And again, your lines are going to be a whole lot shorter than like a 2-day wait for Hall H. So it's actually way better.
And it's not that Comic-Con has changed what they are presenting, because going all the way back to the 70s, they presented things like Star Wars.
Yep.
So from the beginning, they were a full pop culture convention. It's just, again, with media the way it is these days, you know, guess what gets the big news? It's when actors show up at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So, and also you have to remember that this year, Comic-Con actually changed their professional registration rules. And they are actually, instead of just, you know, having trade and what's the other one? Creative separate, they're all in one group now. And they make people who create comics and I think cartoons and authors, those all are being given more weight.
Treatment, yeah.
Who gets a ticket first for professionals. So they are geared towards those more than actors and studio random people who may, you know, produce things. So they are definitely more about comics and creation than they are about what actor is going to show up on that side of it. But unfortunately, it just doesn't get the press.
Yeah.
Now, if you want information on comics and artists and things like that that are coming to Comic-Con, I would highly recommend reading our Under the Tents posts. That's most of what you will find in those posts. Artists, authors, things like that.
Absolutely. I am done ranting. Also, yeah, someone just mentioned, which I had completely forgotten about, this year is Comic-Con's 50th show, and they are going to go all out, I would assume.
Sorry, James, Thursday is running low.
Oh, Thursday is running low. So who knows what we can expect new or returning or bigger than usual or special this year. I just have a feeling that they were already probably planning this because they have to plan so far out. They were probably already planning for the 50th, before the 49th started.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. No, I think this show is going to be really big, and I think it's going to be really great.
So if you are waiting and you aren't sure whether or not to buy that Sunday badge, guess what? You should buy that Sunday badge.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
I think way earlier someone asked about the shuttle buses and their routes, and you can just go look at last year's route, and that's pretty much what this year's is going to be. They usually don't change it very much at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a big deal at all. Somebody did ask just a little bit ago, do the offsites require badges? The vast majority of them don't. There's a small handful that truly do. There's a larger handful that say they do but don't. So when in doubt, it never hurts to at least try.
Our party is badgeless. You do not need a badge to attend our party. I think someone asked that earlier, and I forgot to answer that.
Anyone is welcome. At that point, Comic-Con will be over anyway. So that's why we're the after party.
Something we forgot to mention is that video games are also very big at Comic-Con now.
Yep.
So that's one more thing that's taking up space. They take up almost all of Hall A now on the show floor.
Yeah, this is very true.
All right, so Thursday could go at any time, and then Sunday will be very close behind.
The Todak says this is the 50th show, not the 50th anniversary, right? Well, the first show was technically in 1970. So, I mean, I guess technically that's the 50th show, not the 50th anniversary. But
I don't know.
Yes, it'd be the 50th show, not the 50th anniversary. See, again, math is hard. This is why I had to count earlier on my finger.
Charles,
don't make me take off my shoes, please.
Yeah. Any tips for the merch lottery? Enter for the stuff you want.
And the stuff you don't want, leave it to someone who does.
Yeah.
There's our tip, because it's random and it doesn't matter whether if you enter, you might win.
Actually, I have one more tip. You don't have to enter right when they put it up, especially because they have time slots. So wait a little bit longer and see what else gets announced that you want to attend. Because if it overlaps, you're going to have to make a decision anyway, and you're screwing someone else out of a slot if you take one and then decide, oh, well, I'd rather actually go to this panel that got announced anyway. So, also, other tip, Comic-Con International, please add a decline button. Just saying. Amari asked, can you still apply for press? They actually have not opened press registration yet this year. They should soon. So keep an eye out for that.
Emmy just asked, can volunteers register for the lottery? I'm going to say mileage will vary on that one. This past year, the only thing volunteers weren't eligible for was the Mondo poster. However, this was also the first year that they did the lottery. So as far as this past year went, I'm going to say yes, but keep an eye on CCI for specifics on that one.
Yeah, I can always say, hey, there's my tornado siren.
Andy M, Uncle Henry, get Toto.
And the returning registration went so fast. We never got to that, right?
I think it happened at the end. It's we call it the noon bell. Because every Saturday.
Oh, it's noon. I gotta go make something.
Yeah, it's noon here. All right. Okay. So this is not a good sign. So Comic-Con International put on the yellow status bar due to Expo Logic shopping cart feature. A few people may be selected for a registration session and find that badge inventory is unavailable. We apologize for the inconvenience. This is not an error. All badges are in other members' carts. So what that means is probably that inventory is running very low on both Thursday and Sunday, and again could sell out at pretty much any moment. So just be aware.
It's like Sarah just got in.
Thursday is not sold out yet. Someone just asked, but it could be momentarily, is what I'm saying.
We have other questions. So many people still getting in.
No, it's good though. It's what you want.
Also, if anybody cares, Penn State's leading Wisconsin right now. I believe it's 17-7. And Navy's getting their butts handed to them by UCF 21-0.
Thursday badges have sold out. Sunday badges are still available.
So now it's just Sunday.
Yeah, but again, okay, even if you get through like purchase Sunday, that is the day that a lot of the vendors on the show floor will discount their stuff because they just want to go home and not have to drag it all back. There's still panels that day. Some big panels too. So there's some stuff there. Like this last year, I think Legion was on Sunday. Supernatural's always on Sunday. There's always some cool stuff on Sunday. So
and had another good hint, which is if you want to volunteer, also look at company social media that interest you. They work for Tamashii Nations because they post a hiring on their website looking for volunteers. Multiple companies do that, and we usually put them in under the tents.
Yes.
We put any that we see in under the tents.
The one that I personally really love is Symbiote Studios. They always post looking for volunteers, and they have creative ways of looking for people because they want fun people at their booth. So if you want to check them out, definitely follow them on Twitter. They will be calling for volunteers closer to the con.
Yep.
Eric asked, where's the contact info for contacting Comic-Con if you have an issue? It is in your member ID.
Or you can also just scroll down to the very bottom of their site and click Contact Us.
Yeah.
Either one works.
And if you don't get, if Thursdays are gone, so if you are going to be there anyway for other things and Thursday you don't have a badge, go to some offsites because especially ones that after the first day everyone figures out are the awesomest offsites ever. And then on Friday and Saturday, the lines are horrible. So Thursday, you get into some of those offsites before it gets insanely crowded.
Yep. Karen on Twitter asked, just wondering, do volunteers qualify for returning registration? Unfortunately, no. The only people who would qualify for returning registration are paid general attendees. Any other type of badge, so whether that's professional, guest of a professional, press, retailer, anything else, volunteer, you unfortunately are not going to be eligible for returning registration the next year. But if you have even one day that you attended as a paid general attendee, you would be eligible. Here, you're going nuts. Come here.
Olivia asked to please repeat the name of the company that looks for volunteers. That was Symbiote Studios that Andy mentioned.
Yes.
But multiple companies do look for volunteers.
Yeah, that's just one of many. So keep an eye on Twitter. I would say follow the hashtag SDCC. Others use hashtag SDCC 50, 19, whatever. I don't know.
Follow our Twitter, and whenever you see under the tent, just click in under the tents and just read all the updates of random things going throughout the con that you may never know about.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. That is correct. All right, CCI tweeted. They tweeted again the same thing that I read off a minute ago about how some people may see an empty cart. So again, I would assume Sunday is very close to selling out.
Deborah asked, will there be a second session for passes for other people who did not get in today? No, this is the final sale.
Yep. There are always a couple of contests that you can try to enter. So not all hope is lost, but most hope is lost.
Keep an eye on our contest hub for those.
Yes, we do post any contests that we see on our contest hub, so you can always try for this. And people truly someone has to win.
Yeah.
Why not you?
Yeah. And then they did that Omaze contest last year.
Yep.
Here for this year's tickets. So that
and in fact, somebody emailed me the other day, and I think they said they won or they were a finalist in it or something.
Second place, something like that, runner-up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 2 4-day badges or something like that.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. She's like one.
You didn't choose the pug life.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know. Mine's dying for our attention as well.
Well.
I do want to mention, however, if you see anyone selling their badge somewhere, whether it's eBay, Craigslist, anywhere, just know that you should not purchase that. Badges are non-transferable, so if you are caught doing that, you will be banned from Comic-Con. The person who was selling their badge will be banned from Comic-Con, so that is not something that you want to risk. So unfortunately, if you don't get a badge today, you definitely do not want to purchase a badge from someone else.
Yeah.
All badges are sold out.
Yep. And that is it.
Yeah, that's a wrap on that. So, for better or for worse, you now know whether you are going to attend San Diego Comic-Con 2019. I sincerely hope that you are. And if you are, we will see you there, where we will have our party on Sunday night at a time and location to be announced. We will also return with Prize Mule and Gary the Prize Dragon for lots of awesome prizes at Comic-Con. That's right, James. James has Gary's shirt on.
There's Gary right there talking about, oh, Gary.
That's right. If you didn't get in, it's okay. It's really okay. You can try again next year. You can try for the contest. It sucks. I know it sucks.
Yeah, sorry.
I know. But like I said, I hope everybody who wanted to attend got in. What am I missing, James?
Should I have the closing thing, but let me make sure we didn't miss anything.
We'll be doing our regular podcast starting in May, I would say.
Early? Yeah, 1st of May.
Yeah. First week or so of May, we'll start doing our regular weekly podcast. Until then, keep an eye on our site. As we get closer to Comic-Con, we'll obviously start posting a whole lot more. WonderCon is also in the spring, and we always post a whole lot of information about that. So we hope you'll follow along with all of that. And look, if you didn't get in, look into other conventions. This is not Comic-Con. Comic-Con is great. San Diego Comic-Con is great, but there are so many other conventions. There's so many other things you can do. Take a trip to Disney World with the money you were going to use on Comic-Con. Do something fun, okay?
Yeah. Go to WonderCon.
Go on a cruise. Whatever.
Yeah. So that's what I have. Jason asked when are ticks for WonderCon. They're not on sale yet, but soon, probably.
Yeah, and they do not sell out right away like this. They are available typically up until the show starts.
More or less, yeah.
You want to go on Saturday, make sure you get those earlier than right before the show starts, but they usually last until close to the show.
Yep.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday, I think this past year sold out the day or two before the convention. So
So you have time. But when they go up on sale, if you plan on going, just get your tickets and you'll be set. It's a very good show. It's a really nice show. It's smaller, easier. It's not as crowded. So
yes.
It's good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much to everyone who hung out with us for the last hour and 45 minutes or so. The only reason we do these podcasts is truly for you guys. So I hope that we were in some way informative, and if not, in some way entertaining. So thanks for watching. James, you want to do our out?
So as Carrie mentioned, we will be back in May. We will also do a special WonderCon show, probably one before and one after. That will be in March/April. Carrie, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter over at Carrie Dixon, where since we're not in our busy season, I actually post. And Andy, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SDCC Wacky Wags. And James, where can we find you on the internet?
I am on the internet at Dan Regal on pretty much everything, and you can check out geekshotphoto.com for photography links from my wife and I. And also thank you to Beth, my wife, our producer of the show, for putting together everything, editing the show, and getting it up onto the site for you to listen to. We are on iTunes. If you'd like to subscribe, the links are up on the blog, or search for SDConCast. If you like what you've heard so far, please review us. We are also on Stitcher Radio. The link is in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at sdcomiccon.blog@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening, and everybody, go
Shawarma.
Damn you, Blue Circle.